Okay, Avatar, Fire and Ash. So the new chapter of Avatar, which I've already seen twice in less than a week, and I mean it's an impressive cinematic experience, especially in 3D. Don't go to see this in 2D. Go to a 3D screening. I've tried to see this in 2D, and it feels like you're seeing a downgraded version of the film. It doesn't work. Go to see it properly in 3D in a great auditorium, possibly. And the thing is that what makes Avatar so impressive, it's also what makes it kind of irrelevant in the long term, I think, because it was made to be seen in 3D in a cinema. So what happens when you don't have the chance to do it? When the film comes out on a Blu-ray, when you have a TV, what happens in that case? It's weird to see that there is a film that has made like almost $2 billion at the box office. The first one, the second one, the same, 1 billion and a half. But somehow it's like I don't know. People who go to Comic Con dressed as Navi or who buy Avatar merchandise or and I don't know why. To be honest, I think my idea is that it's it's like it's because it's a 3D film. I mean, the nature of this film is you have to watch it in the cinema in 3D. You cannot do otherwise. So when the film comes out in Blu-ray or after a few years you want to see it on TV or for whatever reason, it just doesn't stick with you. And after a few years, when the new chapter comes out, you go to see it again twice, three times, four times because it's impressive. But somehow it doesn't stick with you in the meantime. And the meantime is years. So it's an extremely peculiar piece of popular culture because it doesn't almost feel like. I mean, the inspiration is so. What can I say? There are so many sentences in this film that sound a bit cringy, and uh, the cat fights between Neytiri and you know the character of Kate Winslet. Uh, there are some. It's kind of stereotypical sometimes, or the father who has an issue with the son, the soldier who is the father of the other boy. But it's all. It feels like something you've seen many, many times before, but it works because of this, because it's the 3D experience, the screening experience that matters, you know? So that's why every 4 3 years we go to the cinema to see a new Avatar, even if in the meantime most people forget there is a thing called Avatar, unless you think to the Nickelodeon Avatar, but that's a different issue. So, that's exactly what makes Avatar so impressive as a cultural phenomenon, but at the same time, it's his demise as a cultural phenomenon. So let's talk specifically about what makes this Avatar Fire and Ash one of the most spectacular in the series. The 3D effects are gorgeous. I mean, the dust, the water in the river, and the transition between water and uh, ground are impressive. And there is this when I don't remember the name of the animals that were there was this scene where when these animals are hunting uh, some guys on the sea, and you see these animals that come on your face, but it's so realistic and it doesn't look fake. It doesn't look like forced. Everything is calculated and it works perfectly. It's a perfect entertainment film. Dialogues are simple. The plot is simple. I mean, the same with happened with the other Avatar. It's stereotypical, as we know. I had a few issues with the Neytiri Saldana at the beginning of the film. I mean, she was mourning, but the expressions she was having were somehow so blunt and almost unrealistic. I don't know, maybe it was my impression, but it was just for a few scenes at the beginning of the film when she's just like this and doesn't do much, and I don't know, it felt a bit weird. And another thing that I have enjoyed a lot about this film is probably the best character we have in the saga, which is Varang, Ona Chaplin. she is impressive, and I mean, it's true that there is motion capture, so but I mean, you can see the physical expression of the actor on screen anyway, somehow, even if they are true animation anyway. And I mean, the way she moves and her smile, you can see that there is something mean in her eyes. That she's thinking how to defeat you, and she's such an impressive character. I mean, stereotypical. I mean, I don't know who said this is Pocahontas in space many years ago, and it feels like the history of the 16th century on space as well. But I mean, that's maybe what makes this film uh, easy to watch somehow, because you don't have to, you just relax on this couch and with the 3D glasses, and you watch an extremely simple plot. The dialogues are simple, and the emotions are simple. There is love, there is hate, and the good and the bad. There is some, especially through Miles Quaritch. There are some moments you almost think, okay, he can become a good guy. No, he doesn't. There is still this kind of clear division, good and bad. And uh, I don't understand why Jack Sully wanted to kill his adopted son. It's true that they can revert that. They could do our DNA analysis and understand how the guy was able to breathe without a mask. But I mean, at the end, it doesn't kill him. So it's just a way to build some drama. Then I must admit that the most impressive scenes in the film are the ones that work better with 3D. And at the beginnings, the battle, the first time we meet the Manguan clan, I think that's how they called, when the main characters are going with the merchants on the sky, are flying on in the sky, and the scene in the river and the ending battle. Those are probably the most impressive scenes in the film. I wasn't expecting I think it's 48 frames per second. I don't want to make a mess, but I think there are more frames than usually, but actually works better that way, because it's improving the 3D experience and the realistic experience. I really want to see this again in IMAX. This is not about the plot. This is not a film you enjoy because of the story, because of the or whatever it is, the morals or whatever the message. No, this is a film you enjoy because of its pure entertainment. And this is also why I think that even if they make Avatar 4, Avatar 5, which is coming 2029, 2031, people are still going to see this. Of course, there's nothing like Avatar, that's for sure. The problem is what's going to become of Avatar in 10 years from now. Just suppose Avatar 5 is going to be the last one, 2031. What happens in 2040? Are people going to still watch Avatar? Suppose the technology improves, the 3D technology or whatever, and this is a film which is based heavily on 3D. So what happens when you don't have a cinema screen anymore, and the last Avatar film has long been released in the past? Are people still going to remember Avatar, or are they going to say, "Oh, I remember that film I used to go to watch a long time ago"? The problem is that there are two Disneyland zones, one in Disney World in Animal Kingdom, one is planned for California. There is a rumor that there might be a new land in Paris. So, what happens in the long term? I'm really curious to see if it's going to become a franchise that is going to expand beyond the cinema, because as I was saying earlier, I don't know anybody who buys Avatar merchandise who is so heavily involved into this series, who know every name of the characters, or all the the lore of Pandora. Uh, it works as a 3D experience. This is so unusual for such a successful franchise. The unusual impact it has on people. So I'm really curious, what are we going to remember in 10 years, 15 years? Are our nephews, sons, daughters, whatever, still going to watch Avatar? Are they going to like it? But this is not a question for now. This is a question for the future. And I have to admit, this is a film that must be seen in cinema. I'm still thinking about the ending, though. The ending sounds kind of anticlimactic and sounds like an end to the saga, but actually, it's not going to be the end of the saga. So, uh, I don't know. I wasn't expecting that ending, to be honest. My problem, maybe. So, but after all, I would say it's a cinematic experience and must be experienced in the largest cinema you can find. Let me know what you think about this film. Thanks for watching the whole video if you're still there, and see you soon.